Hi, my name is Brittney Wills, and I am a recovering addict. So, a little bit about myself. My birthday is September 27th, 1993. It's 2019 currently, so I'll be 26 coming up. I honestly didn't think I'd live to even see 25, so just a little bit about myself. I was raised by a single mother. Had a really good childhood. I was involved in sports. I was really involved. Girl Scouts. I was in church. I was involved in the choir at church and bells, whatever, you name it. I was involved a lot. I'm an only child, as far as I knew. And, I think when things started to kind of hit the fan really for me was coming into junior high. I went to Douglas Anderson, which is a magnet school in Jacksonville, Florida. That was the high school I went to. In La Villa Middle School, I had to audition to get into that. I went there for theater. And that's just kind of, I would say I was probably like 14, 15, when I started to discover what I liked and what I didn't like, and I started smoking pot at 15, probably 12, honestly. Started drinking, kind of went hand in hand. I ended up dropping out. I left Douglas Anderson in sophomore year. I went to England to bring my grandmother's ashes with my mother, and I missed like 3 weeks of school. So when I got back, there was just all finals, and I was like, this is a good time to leave and go to a regular school to get, do something different. And so I went to Terry Parker, and I wanted to play sports there, so I auditioned for the soccer team, and basically my grades didn't transfer over in time, so I wasn't able to play because I had an incomplete on my report card. I was really pissed about that. I was mad about the level of education, I guess you could say, at that school. Because Douglas Anderson, we were this far ahead, and this normal neighborhood school was like back here. So I made the decision. I was like, I'm going to homeschool myself. I dropped out. I just stopped going. In wanting to go to school before everyone graduate early. So let's fast forward. So 15, and I met a girl who was 3 years older than me. I started partying with her in Gainesville. I tried my first hit of LSD, and it was like game over from there. It just brought me to a different place, and I wanted to experience more. So by this time, 2012, and everyone's graduating and going to start college, and I'm too busy partying, drinking, and doing all tons of stuff, DMT, any kind of psychotropic, anything, cocaine. But my addiction, where it progressed, I would say, was when I was 17. I was doing a lot of LSD at that point. I'd be tripping every week. And I remember I did a six hit trip one time, and 3 days went by and I was still tripping. And I was like, this isn't normal. It was great in the beginning, and then it got worse. It's always how it goes, right? And I ended up perma-tripping for a year and a half. I thought I was going to be a vegetable, and silly me, I was like, I'm going to take more LSD to fix myself. Self-medicating, basically. Somehow I came out of it. I woke up one day and it was just done. It stopped. Then I met a guy, and he was a coke dealer, and everyone was doing coke, but they were using needles, and I never liked needles. I have a lot of tattoos, but it's not the same. But he talked me into it, and then fast forward 6 months of shooting up coke. I ended up coming home and telling my mom, like, I have a problem, high as heck. And so I got Baker acted. The police took me to a rehab type thing, state funded. It was pretty crappy. I was coming out of like a drug-induced psychosis as well from the cocaine. There I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but that's another story. I mean, I was erratic coming off of that. So I got out, and I was three months clean off of nothing. And I had a friend reach out to me to go to a party, and so I went, and there was cocaine going on, and I didn't touch the cocaine, but I met this guy, and I remember I had to leave really early the next morning, so I was at this party till like 4 o'clock in the morning. Meanwhile, I had to get up at like 10 because we had a wedding to go to in New Smyrna. So I really clicked with this guy, and didn't know much about him, just, chemistry. And started talking for weeks, and then we'd go out and stuff, and he brought me to his house, and that's when I found out he was a dealer as well. And he sold everything. He was a big supplier in Jacksonville. Everyone got everything from him, heroin included. And when I was on the cocaine, I had used heroin to come down and be able to sleep, but it wasn't a regular thing, really. It was my prime focus, I guess. So I told him, I was like, I've never done it this way. Before you know it, snorting heroin, then there's a needle back of my arm. And believe it or not, that went on for 6 years. 6 years. And I was in denial the entire time. Like, I can get off this. Like, I'm not powerless over this. Like, I could always stop something. I haven't touched cocaine in forever. I haven't done LSD in 5 years. Haven't smoked pot. But no, heroin had its hold on me. And I just remember feeling so low. Like, a good kid coming from this awesome lifestyle. Like, I didn't have it bad at all. And I was living like a freaking rat. Stealing, lying, cheating, you name it, I've done it. And I had a moment, it was in my mom's house, after overdose. I had a moment. It was raining outside. It was raining pretty heavy, and I was there's like the stair part it's like a garage type, den type thing in the back of the house, and I was sitting on the very bottom of the step. And I just remember just crying. And I was like, I'm addicted. I'm addicted to this. And I have a problem. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I just want to feel okay again. I lost my way somewhere, and I want to feel okay. And I prayed. I mean, that's what I did. And after I had so many friends die, and I was next. Definitely was next. But by the grace of God, I told my mom, and thank God my mom had really good insurance. My mom worked for Mayo Clinic, so I was blessed. I was 22 when I went to my first treatment center, recovery village in Umatilla, Florida. And I went in there with the mindset, like, I'm just going to detox off this. I just need to detox off this. I just need to get off this, and I'll be okay. But day came 10 days later. All right, you're leaving tomorrow. And I was like, hold up. Like, I'm still thinking about this heavily. I'm dreaming about this every day. And I want to be rid of this. I don't want this to control my life anymore. So I stayed 4 to 9 days in the whole program. We had a guy come in there. His name's James Bogue, and I had never heard of sober living before. It was like like an AA meeting that comes outside. And he was talking about how there's these sober houses for people, and there's a men's house, there's a woman's house, or there's a co-ed house. I thought, that would, why don't I do something different? Something I don't normally do, So I called my mom and I told her, I want to stay here. I want to get the full maximum possible treatment. So the whole 90 meetings, 90 days. And I mean, when they talk about addictions, I was just thinking, like I had a drug problem. I got an alcohol problem. I mean, I just abused stuff. I didn't even think about sex or shopping, whatever it is. I had a problem. So I did the whole 90 meetings in 90 days. I stayed sober living for 8 months. I was about 4 months clean, and I got in this really bad car accident. Coming back from an IOP, a girl picked me up. And we're out in the country, and this guy in this truck pulls out and hits us. We flipped 4 times, landing in the other lane, coming this way. And I couldn't move. They had to cut me out of the vehicle. I had to get airlifted. It was some serious stuff. But I denied all narcotics. I told myself, if I could do this here, in this pain, like excruciating pain, if I could do this, why would I ever need to use ever again? That was my whole mindset. And it was hard. I had to wear a back brace for freaking 4 weeks, and it sucked. I couldn't work out anymore. It sucked. Pain hurt. But I really believed that would be a good thing for me, and I'm very happy I did, because I got a settlement out of that, $100,000 settlement, and if I had gotten that one taste in my mouth, I probably would have been dead with that settlement, with that money I got. Bought myself a car, finished my arms. I grew up and I didn't really have much direction how to save money, counseling or anything. So my mom really tried to push me to be really independent. Single mother. She was brought up that way, so she wanted that for me. So I wish I had saved some of that money, because that money was gone within like a year. So I ended up moving after my IOP ran out. I moved from the Orlando area back to Jacksonville, Florida. I ended up going back home, moved in with my mom, and it was really good. It was good. I started working, but I stopped going to meetings completely. Just that whole thing of I have to meet new people again and start all over in my town. And I went to one meeting. I will admit, I went to one meeting. I was 30 minutes late. Couldn't find it. When I got there, it was packed, shoulder to shoulder. I was so overwhelmed. I did go out to pizza with them, but I didn't know anyone. I didn't reach out. But I just threw myself into work, and that's what I did. The guy I was dating and was using, but that whole 6 years before I got into my first treatment center, it took 6 months for me to break up with him. 6 months of therapy to break up with this guy. And I was doing real good when I moved back home. He was living in Melbourne at the time with his family. Found out I was living back in Jacksonville. Found out where I was and asked to take me out. He asked for a single shot. We had always used together, so we never were together without using. And even though I was so repulsed by him and on this other level, I let him back in my life. And within 4 months, I was drinking heavily again, and snorting ketamine, and Within like a week, I was back with a needle in my arm. That quick. And it goes right back to how bad it was before. Like, it's crazy. It was literally 2 months clean, and it was probably a month after my 2 years. And I felt like I threw it all away. Felt like it was all for nothing. And the guilt and shame that came with it was just out of this world. It was heavy, embarrassing, really. I fucked up. And I had to tell the people that loved me, who really believed in me, that I messed up. I was throwing up while I was using, okay? So I ended up going to the doctor for a UTI, and I did a pregnancy test, and I found out I was pregnant. This was some news. 24. Now I'm pregnant with this guy that I freaking despise. But I look at it like it was supposed to happen. The moment I found out I was pregnant, I checked myself into a detox center in Orlando, Florida for pregnant women. And I detoxed, and I decided in there that I was going to keep her, whether he was in her life or not. And I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but my mother raised me all by herself, and I was totally mentally prepared to do it on my own as well. And found I was a girl, and when I got back home, he was still using. So I ended up relapsing while I was pregnant, and that was pretty hard. I was telling myself, like, she's going to grow up without a father, and she's she's going to know that he doesn't love her, and, there's no excuse to ever use ever. And I was like, hormonal too. But I ended up finding a doctor. I got put on Subutex, and I was on Subutex the remainder of my pregnancy up until my induction date. I tapered down. They induced me. I had her. She popped out. And she was healthy. She was good. By the grace of God, she was good. When I got home, meanwhile, the baby daddy, was in and out of the hospital. He was acting kind of weird. We were together using for a very long time, so, an addict can tell when someone's not right. He was not right. He never, ever stopped. And I got postpartum really bad, and he was using, so I ended up using too. Meanwhile, my baby's a couple weeks old. I decided to kick him out. Kicked him out, and I was my start to get right again. I got back on the Subutex, and I was on that for a year. And so now I'm 25 at this point. Insurance runs out at 26. Okay. So I needed to get off this medication. My mom helped me out. She tried to watch for those couple weekends, and I detox. But 2 days is not enough time to detox off of that. So they came together. I have a god mom for Rose, my friend Jake, who passed away for an overdose, and she's just been a godsend. And she told me, whatever you need, Brittney, I will take care of Rose. I'll make sure she's okay. You get whatever help you need to get. And so I did. I thought was enough. I went to a 10-day detox in Jacksonville, and I had no withdrawals going in there. But on the 10th day, when I got out, Pre-acute withdrawal, so bad. Depression like nothing I've ever experienced in my life hit me, and I was scared. I thought I was going to kill myself. I tried getting in with a doctor. The therapists weren't available till like the following week, and I needed some kind of medication now. So I relapsed. I relapsed. And I just remember thinking, like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And heroin's not around anymore at this point. It's all fentanyl. I tested positive for fentanyl when I went to that detox, and I knew what it was. It was fentanyl. But by the grace of God, I was like, what am I going to do? I'm just going to die like this. I'm going to die like this. It's just going to happen. And at that point, I wanted to. 25, and here I am. I'm still going through this. Now I have a baby. I take care of her day in and day out. And I'd always make sure she was taken care of before myself. Like, I wasn't even bathing. I wasn't even eating. I was just making sure that she was okay. And then in the nighttime, when she'd go to sleep, I was out on the couch, and I was like, that's stuck in this cycle, this vicious cycle. Long story short, my godmom, Sarah, reached out to Matthew, who just so happened to work with her sister once upon a time. And she told me she was going to tour this place. And she had no idea that I had this conversation with my mom literally that Friday night that she met Matthew. That if I can go do a 30-day treatment center, which is what I needed, would I be willing to do that? And I was like, yes. I've never heard of this place before. She toured it. I was supposed to go with her. I didn't go. She came to the house, told me about it, and I ended up, packing up my stuff, and I was here the following week on that Sunday. And this place is awesome. I came in here ready to change my life. I've been done. And I'm grateful that I have that clarity and peace of mind to be self-aware of what I really want in life. And had enough sober time to recognize, that was the best time of my life, was when I was sober. There's nothing like it. Everything good happens because you're doing good. You're living the way you're supposed to. And I'm really grateful for the people here. Drew me out. And then the whole NIT thing, magic is happening here. And though they just opened, they're going to be great. And I hope that my story can help someone else that's been there. It's okay. We do recover. And this isn't the last time you're going to see me. Thank you.